right, so I want to give a huge congratulations to the Kansas City Chiefs. You guys have gotten back to the Super Bowl. 3 straight years hosting the AFC Championship game, and now this is your 2nd straight year back in the Super Bowl. You're really doing nice trying to build this whole dynasty thing, and now you have the opportunity to go out there and just win back-to-back Super Bowls. Patrick Mahomes is just amazing. The guy is the best quarterback in the league. He continues to amaze people. He continues to do great things, and his offense, man, is just something lethal. They are something lethal. They came out here today, man. They were down 9-0. They didn't flinch. This team as a whole didn't flinch, and they did what they needed to do. 21 unanswered points, and once Kansas City took the lead, they did not look back. In the second half, all they did was do what they can to extend their lead, and at the end of the day, it's what got them there. I felt that after I saw the way they performed in the first half, I was like, this team might drop 40 tonight. It just felt like that, like they were going to drop 40 points here. So I really thought the chances of the Bills were kind of dwindling if they couldn't just slow you guys down. And apparently, they couldn't slow you guys down. That is just what happens in the game. So once again, congratulations to the Chiefs. Great job to you guys. You guys got a fantastic team. You're starting off right. You got a young quarterback who's the best in the league. And you guys are just making plays and finding ways to continue to win in the postseason. And now, again, Mahomes is heading to his 2nd Super Bowl of his career. He will be taking on Tom Brady, the one person that seems to have had his number in his career. And this should be something special. We've got a Brady-Mahomes Super Bowl. It's going to be something special. It's going to be a battle. It's going to be a whole war when the Super Bowl comes up. So I can't wait to cover it. It's going to be something great to talk about. In terms of the Bills, this is where your season ends. And at the end of the day, it sucks. It's unfortunate, but hold your head up high. You know, you came far this season. You came far. Tom Brady going over to the NFC, you know, everyone sat back and was wondering who's going to take that role. I immediately looked at the Bills and said, this is the team that's going to win the division. But it wasn't just about Brady going over to the NFC. I just liked what I saw from them last year. And I felt that if Josh Allen made improvements, they were going to be a team that could contend for a Super Bowl. He clearly made the improvements. He got a guy like Stephon Diggs, went out there, and look at them. They made the AFC Championship game at least. They've made progress. So that's good to see. That is definitely something good to see. And I hope he continues to improve, and he brings that mentality and just the way he played today, he brings that with him into next season. Now, in terms of the Bills, I already, discussed this in my first half recap. You had to be more aggressive. And if you looked at the way they played a little bit more aggressive. They were willing to take those risks. In some cases, it paid off. In other cases, it wasn't able to pay off. And at the end of the day, once that pick happened, I kind of knew the game was over. Once Josh Allen got picked off, that was the game right there. But he did what he can, and at the end of the day, you got to live with it, man. He didn't exactly throw the ball well, but, he had nearly 300 yards passing and 2 passing touchdowns. Obviously, the interception he had because he got picked off in the fourth quarter. It is what it is. But, yeah, Josh Allen, I think you got to be proud with the work ethic that he's put up and just how much he's improved. If he can continue to improve, this team could potentially be in the Super Bowl next year. And it sucks because I looked at this matchup against the Chiefs, and I told Bills Mafia I didn't like that matchup. That was a bad matchup for you guys. But, a lot of people in Bills Mafia, they looked at the Chiefs and said, well, the Chiefs this year, they haven't looked as dominant as they did before. They were in a lot of close games and stuff like that. And I was just sitting there like, well, yeah, they're definitely in a lot of more close games this year. But if anything, these close games are going to help actually, deal with the situations that they could potentially face in the playoffs, because there'll probably be situations where they're down again because for some reason Kansas City, despite being this explosive on the offensive side and having Patrick Mahomes, they just always come out starting off slow for some random reason. It is what it is. But yeah, Bills Mafia, I tried to explain, you guys aren't really necessarily, the way you guys play, your style of play isn't necessarily built towards beating Kansas City for some reason. Though I will give you this, you really came out here, gave up all your efforts, and did what you got to do. But it just wasn't enough. You guys aren't necessarily built to beat this type of team because you have to be able to take away possessions from Patrick Mahomes. And you guys simply were not able to do that in this game. And that was the difference maker. Mahomes was out here carving up this team the entire day. Over 300 yards passing for him and 3 touchdowns. Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill both had over 100 yards receiving, and they got straight up busy on the Bills' defense. like I expressed in my recap video as well, if the defense does not stop the weapons of Patrick Mahomes, they have no shot to win this game. It's just part of how the situation is. And at the end of the day, they did what they could. Offensively, they put up 24 points. You got to be proud of that. They did what they were able to do. Defensively, there was not much they could do. I looked at the first half and saw that they made this epic comeback. I mean, once you're watching this happen, because they go up 9-0, and everyone's sitting back and thinking, all right, well, Kansas City's about to make this comeback. Ain't nobody worried. If you were a Bills fan, you were cheering, seeing your team go up 9-0, you clearly haven't paid attention to the Kansas City Chiefs, nor have you watched enough Chiefs games. Just because you were up 9-0 does not mean all of a sudden you're going to take this. I mean, that you go up 9-0, next thing you know, 21 unanswered points, and you're basically out of the game because obviously they're not going to blow this lead. It's crazy, man. I really don't know how you stop this Chiefs team. When I said that last week, I truly mean it. And my reasoning for that is because no matter what situation you throw them in, no matter who's in that situation, no matter how the circumstance comes to be, Kansas City finds a way to win the game. And that just speaks volumes for what they are. Just give straight up credit to Andy Reid for being great. Give credit to Patrick Mahomes for being himself and being great. Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce. Give credit to these guys for making it happen on the offense. It really just speaks volumes as to how dominant you're looking at this Chiefs team to be. And at the end of the day, I would have loved 100% my team to be in this game because we had an opportunity. Had we beat the Bills, we would have been the AFC Championship game against the Chiefs. I would have loved for us to have a shot. But based on just what I've seen, I do not think we could beat this team right now. I feel like Baltimore still has a lot of things they have to fix. And they have to have a serious identity check if they want to be able to tango with the big dogs in the AFC. But yeah, and speaking of the AFC, it's going to be interesting next year. Patrick Mahomes reigns supreme right now, but who's going to take that mantle? Obviously, the person who's got the first crack at it is Josh Allen. But who's going to step up next? Is Lamar Jackson finally going to break through and get to an NFC or AFC Championship game and take on Mahomes? Is Baker Mayfield going to actually continue to improve and end up making the Cleveland Browns be a serious threat to the Chiefs? Is Justin Herbert going to get the Chargers going? What's going to happen? So many questions to ask. But at the end of the day, hey, the Chiefs, man, that offense is so unfair. That offense is unfair. I just don't know how you stop it. And their defense does well enough to help them get to where they need to be. Because when their defense comes out here, all they know is they have to make a couple stops. And at the end of the day, if you get the ball to Patrick Mahomes, he will deliver. And that's exactly what ended up happening in this game. So it's unfortunate. Defensively for the Bills, they did what they could to try and hold this man off. But at the end of the day, the Chiefs, when you got Patrick Mahomes as your quarterback and he continues to find ways to just get the ball to his receivers, no matter what the situation is, whether he's in the pocket, out of the pocket, whether he's facing pressure versus whether he's just an empty backfield, no matter what, this man finds a way to get the ball to his players. He's just a playmaker. He's great like that. And that just speaks for the greatness of Patrick Mahomes, because this is just exactly why he's just such a great individual, just how he's such a unique talent, and how Andy Reid's really getting just all he possibly can from this one guy. I really do feel bad for Bills Mafia. A lot of them were very confident that they could beat this team because they looked at the situation. It was like, well, this team hasn't been playing great lately, and they haven't been in the news that much, and they've been taking a vacation and all this other stuff. And at the end of the day, you can't really judge a book by its cover like that, especially with the Kansas City Chiefs. Because while you guys were focused on why they're in all these close games, I was focused on watching those close games and seeing as to how they managed to pull through. And if you looked at it, almost every time Patrick Mahomes pulls off some play that ends up being the game-changing play. And at the end of the day, when it comes to football at its core, especially in the postseason, it only comes down to a few plays. How do you get that job done? In a few plays, can you change the outcome of a game? Patrick Mahomes is the type of quarterback to do that. And he certainly did that today. Down by 9, he turned the page and did what he needed to do to get them the lead. And once he got the lead, he never looked back. So yeah, it's definitely difficult. I definitely do feel for the Bills here because they definitely wanted to get back to the Super Bowl. But right now, this situation with the Chiefs, the way they got everything on lockdown, at least for right now, I just don't see how you beat this team. Like I said, I really don't know how you beat this team. Another fan was talking about how Green Bay could potentially be it, but Green Bay's not going to the Super Bowl. It's Tampa Bay. So I don't know what to do. It's going to be very interesting, though. I can't wait to see it. It's going to be Brady's Bucks versus Mahomes Chiefs in Tampa Bay for the Super Bowl in 2 weeks. It's going to be epic. I can't wait to see it. It's going to be something great. This is going to be special. With that being said, I think I'm going to end it here. I just want to give a quick congratulations to the Chiefs. Have a little talk with we'll talk about a little talk. Have a little talk about the situation and just have a little talk with Bills Mafia as well, and just in general in terms of how to just understand this and take this loss. Because again, they played a great second half. They overall played a really solid game. Allen did what he could, but at some point, it's just not going to happen when you're going up against Kansas City. They find ways to actually, get a turnover. They're not the best defense. They're not even top 5. But when they needed to show up, they always do show up. Because they understand that as long as number 15 is out there, he's going to come up clutch. And he's going to be the one to make the play no matter what. With that being said, once again, congratulations to the Kansas City Chiefs for once again winning the AFC and heading to the Super Bowl. As for the Bills, this is definitely a tough loss, tough way to end your season. You wanted to get to the Super Bowl and you wanted to beat Mahomes, but you're not at that level, man. You're not at that level you're not at that level the way the Chiefs are playing. And I'm not talking about Allen not being on the level of Mahomes. I'm talking about everybody in the AFC getting on the level of the Chiefs, because no matter what situation you throw at them, they just find ways to win games. No matter what you throw at them, they find a way to win, and that speaks volumes. With that being said, that's really all I got to talk about. I can't wait to see what happens with the Super Bowl. I'm sure I'll be talking about a couple other things this week because it's definitely going to be interesting. With that being said, I keep saying that. Look, I'm trying to end the video, but then I keep on going on. But yeah, that's really all I got, guys. I'm out of here, man. Peace.